My Aunt Hotel. Namaste. Namaste. Free the land, beloved. Come on in. Come on in. My name is Vicki Dillard, and I'm a very proud contributor right here on FlyNubianQueenTV.com, the network for melanated women. And we know our brothers are holding us down too. Just like you, welcome, welcome, welcome to our broadcast today. We are so pleased that you are with us today. Shout out to Anast Home. I don't think I'm saying that right, but I believe it's one of our international brothers and sisters who's always been a blessing to the network and myself. Thank you so much for tuning in. Shout out to you, Black family that's coming in the digital building. Shout out to you, Silent D Production, for the first gift. Listening while working. Awesome, beloved. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Family, you know how we do it. Just a little bit of housekeeping before we get ready to get into our most important subject today. What we're going to talk about today is so profound, it's so important, and I need us to understand how integral it is to this war on Black people. But as you come in, family, come on in, giving us thumbs up, thumbs up. Be sure to like, be sure to share. Please make sure that you text the word Queens to 31996 so that you're able to receive phone notifications when we go live from time to time. I'm typically here weekdays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. Also, we have a business school. FlyNubianBusiness.com. Make sure you check it out. FlyNubianBusiness.com. I want to give a beautiful shout out to my dear sister and supporter of this network, and obviously me personally, Miss Lady D. You know who you are. I'm sporting a beautiful bow, a pearl bow that my sister sent me. She said, I like your curly braids. So she sent me a whole bunch of gifts for my hair, and she sent me a little coin too in the mail. Y'all something else. So anyway, thank you so much. And I just wanted to shout my sister out for my beautiful bow. My sisters always have me looking right on the Vicki show, and I don't take it for granted. Thank you so very much. Dear family, keep in mind that the end of this week, my scheduling is going to be totally off. You're going to find out why later. Shout out to you, Shalina, for your gift. You are a blessing, queen. Thank you, beloved. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Now, dear family, I want to certainly properly greet the Black family during this holy uprising. This is a holy uprising. Why, Black family? Because we are resisting. We're resisting white supremacy. We're resisting oppression. We're resisting lack and poverty and murder and death and disenfranchisement. We are determining our own future. We are establishing a kingdom based on freedom, justice, and equality. And of this kingdom, there shall be no end. Somebody talk Black to me. Listen, let's get started, family. I came across a story. It was a few days ago, and then I saw one of the sisters mention this story as well, so I decided to go ahead and do it. Concerning a Black business in Atlanta. Slutty Vegan. Apparently, it's a very, very good Black restaurant. Excellent food, excellent rave reviews, and apparently very prosperous and respected. Well, Black family, we often discuss how endemic, how foundational white supremacy is in America and around the world. And this is precisely the reason so many people are demanding new systems, new protocols, because of how deeply embedded white supremacy is. We don't care what the subject is, what the topic is, what area of people activities you're referring to. White supremacy has poisoned it, tainted it. Somebody talk Black to me. Shout out to you, BJ, for your gift. I bless it 1,000-fold. So now this Black business is under fire. And I want you to remember, I want you to recall a statement that I have often repeated here on the Vicki Show. And I heard Minister Farrakhan say this long ago in a lecture. And guess what that is? Business is warfare. Did you all hear what I just said? Business is warfare. Shout out to you, Victor, for your gift. I bless it 1,000-fold. Business is warfare. I thought about that statement and I began to think on why we were brought here in the first place. We do understand that this entire planet is ours. That means there's no space, there's no place on this earth that we're not the original to. That being understood, there was still a group of us that was brought from the throne land. That is Mother Africa, brought here to this country to help build a promised land for the white man. Somebody talk black to me. Why were we brought to America in the first place, family? Why were we brought to this country in the first place? We were brought to America. We built America for white folks. It became the most powerful and the most prosperous. There was an economic attachment to us being brought here. We were not only considered to be property, indispensable property at that, but we constantly and we continue to make America rich. America is enjoying everything that she's enjoying because of our free labor. Shout out to you, Erica. I'm trying to get your videos to my friend who is a deputy in prison. All those inmates need your voice. Thank you so much, beloved. Thank you for that, Erica. I bless your efforts and your gift 1,000-fold, beloved. I can't wait till the right legal doors are opened up for me to begin to go back into the prisons to speak on behalf of my dear beloved family. So we were brought here to this country for what, family? For profit. For economics. Don't forget that. So business is warfare. And the way the world does business, specifically America does business, is through free black labor. It is through exploitative labor. Yes, you can be number one when everything you got is stolen. Yes, your business will show profits and stuff when you don't pay nobody. Somebody talk like that. And not just for a day or a week or a month, but for centuries. I don't use just that little 200 and some odd number, technical number when we were technically in chattel slavery for this amount of time. We were convict at least for this amount of time. We were experiencing injustices of sharecropping for this amount of time. You know what I'm saying? We experienced Jim Crow here. No, baby, the years that constantly proceed, that continues to go forward, you are accruing interest on your devilment, on your deficit that you owe us. Somebody talk black to me. Shout out to you, chocolate woman, for your gift. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Now listen, shout out to you, Selena. Yes, ma'am, she says. That's right. Instagram Instagram, get ready to come on over to flynubianqueentv.com. I need to use this device now, and I'm going to do my best. I know I say this often, but I'm really going to do my best to make this a short show because of what I'm preparing for later, dear family. So come on Instagram to flynubianqueentv.com. Thank you so much. By the way, family, you can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram, Black family, at Vicki X Dillard. Vicki X Dillard. That's where you can follow me on. I'm posting this to invite our friends to come on over really quick. As I'm doing that, family, make sure that if you're watching us on flynubianqueentv.com, that you hit the thumbs up button. If you're watching us on one of our other platforms, please make sure that you like, share, subscribe, and follow there and begin to engage. We appreciate you doing that. We ask that you do that because it helps to draw other folk into the broadcast. We understand how important that is because we can elevate the Black voice, the Black narratives in Black media when we all get engaged. Somebody talk Black to me. One of the things I tell folks all the time is that instead of normalizing other news outlets, white news outlets, that is, you can start saying stuff like letting folks know where you get your news. Say, oh, I've been watching the Vicki show. The Vicki show, where is that at? Vicki show. Oh, it's on flynubianqueentv.com. You heard of that? You make them look silly because they don't know what flynubianqueentv.com. See, we've normalized CNN and ABC and CBS, MSNBC and Fox and stuff. We've normalized those networks. I say it often. I'm going to continue to say it. But Black family, we've got to flip the script here. We've got to let them know that this is the place to be. Power comes from where? The ground up in this season, baby. Power is with the Black grassroots, if you didn't know it. We're holding court today, and I'm so pleased that you are with us today. Now watch this. So this story fascinated me about this Black vegan restaurant, this prosperous, successful vegan restaurant. I want you to hear a little bit about the story, and then I'm going to connect some dots here because I want you all to understand that because Black folk were brought here as property rather, to what? Profit white America. That in and of itself proves the point that what? Business is warfare. And America's theft of us and her exploitation of our labor, her theft of our labor, is proof of how she does business. Did you hear what I said? America stealing us, stealing our physical bodies, but stealing our intellectual property. Don't you guys understand that a lot of the industries, the technologies, advancements in societies that you enjoy, most of them, I would dare say, came from a Black mind or was inspired by one? I know they told you that white man what's the word I'm looking for? Invented the light bulb and electricity and all that. Let me tell you something. When you begin to research it and begin to look at it, you find that they had the advantage of getting the copyright, but they couldn't come up with it. You find that somebody Black was behind it. The way America does business lets you know that business is warfare. She stole us. She stole our labor, our intellectual property, our physical labor, and otherwise. So business is warfare. Now that we've established this concept that business is warfare, let's talk about this story. story came out. And of course, today is the first. This one was written yesterday, but I heard about it a little bit earlier. I want you to take a look at this queen here. This is Miss Pinky Cole. I believe her last name is Pinky Cole. Watch this. Business owner, right? Slutty Vegan owner. That's the name of her restaurant, by the way, where you eat food. I know it's an unusual name. Vegan owner, Slutty Vegan owner, Pinky Cole is continuing her long-standing philanthropy efforts to uplift those in need after a slew of internet trolls tried to overtake her Yelp and Google review pages with bad reviews. Did you all catch that? You all know how you help to build businesses when you give word of mouth and you tell everybody how wonderful it is. You know, when you tell folks about a business, it's a type of advertising, right? When you see commercials, it's a type of advertising. When you see flyers, it's a type of advertising, right? When you're on social media and you see a commercial or you see an ad or a post about a restaurant or a business, right? That's important to the success, the visibility of a business, the marketing of a business. Is that right? So these apps and these websites, Yelp and Google review pages, we often look at those things to determine whether or not we're going to do business with someone. Is that right, y'all? So you've got some haters that try to overwhelm those particular sites. Watch why. Watch this. It all started, it says here, after Cole, this black business owner, announced that she was teaming up with local business owners to provide the family of Rayshard Brooks with a car, life insurance, and his children with a full ride to Clark Atlanta University. Somebody say Black Power. When we're talking about Black Power, we're talking about economics. We're talking about the ability for self-determination. We're underwriting the revolution. When Harriet Tubman decided that she was going to be free, when Harriet Tubman decided that she was not going to wait for some white president to sign some Emancipation Proclamation to give the appearance of freedom, Denmark Vesey, Nat Turner, they didn't wait for their open enemies to make it legal for them to be free. You didn't make me thief. You didn't make me bloodshedder. They decided to take their own lives into their hands. When you have finances, when you have economic resources, baby, you can dictate your own life. And I told you this before, and I'm going to keep telling you again. We don't have no president. Somebody talk black to me. Shout out to you, Jen, for your gift. I appreciate you, and your information is moving so fast. Thank you. Shout out to you, Ridge. Vicki, that sounds like cyber warfare. Yes, that's exactly what they were doing. There was cyber warfare, beloved. Well said. When they were using the internet to commit a type of fraud. Shout out to you, Stay Positive, for your gift. He said, July tithes. Oh, I bless your tithes 1,000-fold. Don't make me go to Malachi 3, where it says what? Bring y'all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in my house. See if I would not herewith open up the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing in which you don't have enough room enough to receive it. Oh, baby, please. Whatever gems are in any spiritual book or writing, Vicki gonna take it because it came from our ancestors. The reason why I tell you, in case you don't know, I bless your gifts 1,000-fold. Those that bless and help this network and those that help me personally, I bless it 1,000-fold. Watch this, because I have the power to bless. And so do you, God, today. Your money is a type of energy. When I add my words on it, I amplify it. Lord God, I'm going to leave it alone. By the way, I'm drinking this good water from a mug that I got at our store at shopfnq.com. That's shopfnq.com. Watch this. Black power. Now watch this. Got my hair on my lips. Black power. That is exactly why money is called currency, because it's a current. It's meant to flow. Don't forget, Business is warfare. It's an economic connection to this thing. That's why you were brought here, for profit. So when black folk are successful, when black folks are business owners, in the minds of white supremacists, you are a walking malfunction. They only meant for you to be of benefit to them, God, today. So when they see you're benefiting yourself, you are malfunctioning property in their eyes. Back to the story. Listen. I'm reading, by the way, from Madame Noir. Listen to this very quickly. I'm very particular about reading certain things from that. But anyway, this was obviously vetted and all this kind of stuff. But I wanted to get to the point here. Watch this. Shout out to you, Azrael Israel. Hey, sister, always a pleasure. Thank you. I bless your gift. Listen, it all started, I'm going to say it again, after Cole, that's the black business owner that I just showed you, of Slutty Vegan restaurant. It all started after Cole announced she was teaming up with local business owners to provide the family of Rayshard Brooks with the car, life insurance, and his children with a full ride to Clark Atlanta University. Brooks, a 27-year-old black man, y'all remember our brother who was shot, who was murdered in a Wendy's parking lot, was shot and killed by Atlanta officers on June 12th, further propelling the movement to take down systems of oppression and violence against black lives. I think this meant to say black lives. Prior to, what did it say? Prior to, y'all watch this, prior to Rayshard Brooks being gunned down in a Wendy's, prior to this beautiful black business owner that didn't have to go through no governmental applications. She didn't have to go to Master's plantation and say, Master, can you lend me some money, Master? I mean, it's all hours anyway, Master, but can you just give me some of the crumbs from a little bit of our labor, Master? No, baby. They made a decision. They had the power and the resources to make a real difference in the lives of Rayshard Brooks's widow and families. Listen, prior to that, though, Cole suspended free meals to officers after collaborating with local eateries to feed first responders, officers, and other essential workers. Family, who disproportionately makes up the essential workers, especially in Atlanta? Is it us, family? Is it us? Well, prior to the Rayshard Brooks situation, this beautiful black business owner suspended providing free meals to officers after she started to collaborate to help other essential workers, which tends to, in larger numbers, make up who? Us. She did that. And then she turned around after learning about the high-tech lynching of our brother Rayshard Brooks. She turned around and teamed up with other business owners and provided his wife a car, full rides to college for his children, and life insurance. Watch this. What this beautiful black business owner did that sparked the ire of our open enemy was when she did things to financially benefit us. She had the power to fill the black war chest. Somebody talk black to me. I often talk about this on the Vicki show, how we need what? Our war chest full. Watch this. thumbs up, family. Keep liking and sharing. Watch this. I lost my space, my spot. Watch this. Let me pull it back up here. Here we go. It says, in response to the Brooks announcement, y'all play too much. In response to the Brooks announcement, bothered Blue Lives Matter advocates began flooding the review pages. Cyber warfare, as our beloved just said, began flooding the review pages, leaving false narratives and calling for the restaurant to be shut down. They got a heck of a nerve, don't they? Once again, white folk not minding their own business. It's what's causing y'all so much trouble. You sticking your nose. Watch this. They love to say, thank you, Spirit. They love to say and call the Black woman a welfare queen. They love to tell you to stop going to the government, asking the government for money, even though it's our money in the first place. And you all are the king and queens of welfare. Under the Homestead Act and every other law, it's fixed against us and it's rigged to help you. You stole our labor. We built the entire country. We thought up everything and you stole it. And then got the nerve to turn around when we get $2 or $3 to raise some babies to talk about we're welfare queens. After thief, you failed to pay us for hundreds of years. But never mind that. You got trillions of dollars buying through Wall Street. You got grants and loans and land. I'm going to repeat that. You got grants, low interest loans and land that you had no business getting in the first place. Even under Donald Trump, they committed a large scam by giving the top less than 1% a huge tax break without giving the average Americans a tax break as well. You are the real welfare queens. And I'm calling some of you white fragilists that might be male. You're a welfare queen too. Ain't no sense to be even calling you a welfare king. All you welfare queens. Corporate welfare. Again, it says, in response to the Brooks announcement, bothered Blue Lives Matter advocates. For those of you that don't know that, they're talking about the police. Police advocates begin flooding the review pages, leaving false narratives and calling for the restaurant to be shut down. Thankfully, the local community rallied around Cole, who told AJC that more than 18,000 positive reviews in a 72-hour period. She received more than 18,000 positive reviews in a 72-hour period. In addition to the above-mentioned celebrities reaching out to Cole, asking how they could contribute with support, she instead said she wanted to provide free food as a thank you. It says this isn't the first time, nor the last time Cole has stepped in for her community. She's provided free meals to nursing homes, helped pay the tuition of 30 Clark Atlanta students, and spearheaded the effort to pay for the funeral services of Nigel Cole, a 15-year-old gay teen who took his life last year after sustaining cruel bullying. The point is, she's been on record as helping Black people. And so in response to her helping Rayshard Brooks' widow get a car, his children getting full rides to college, providing life insurance, and prior to that, she cut giving free meals to the police officers and instead gave them to essential workers. And if they were an officer, they were essential workers, they ended up getting it. But just giving it to all police officers, she shut that down. Black family. Your open enemy sees it as an act of war when you do anything financially for your own interest. They got some nerve to say, don't ask the government for nothing, right? But when this Black woman took it upon herself to go into her own, to underwrite, to fund the education of Black people, provide a vehicle paid off for Black people, provide life insurance for Black people. She didn't come to the government. Why are you sticking your nose? You little racist. Why are you sticking your nose in Black business? Police officers mad that this queen is not giving you free meals anymore. Shout out to her for doing that. Well, in the first place, what we look like doing it, especially in the face of you murdering our people. Somebody talk Black to me. What we look like, many, what we look like. Filling up your belly with good Southern food, because this is Atlanta. What we look like, making sure that you have sustenance with a good, yummy vegan meal that was cooked by a Black woman for free. And then on top of that, she says, I'm using these resources for my community, for my people. Black family, I submit to you what Professor Carol Anderson, the writer of the book White Rage, tells us. What did she tell us in White Rage? She told us that white rage is sparked in most instances when white folk senses Black advancement. Do you know the reason Donald Trump is the president of the United States? In addition to white foreign meddling, in addition to white voter suppression, voter theft in the country, there was, I believe it was voter theft domestically and internationally. Why is Donald Trump the president of the United States? One of the main reasons why, that savage that you call the president of the United States is in a house that our ancestors built and that's funded by our taxpayer dollars. He's in federal housing right now. The reason he's there is due to backlash because of a Black presidency. Somebody talk Black to me. J-Rock said, I got the book. Arlene, thank you for your $50 gift. I bless it 1,000-fold. You said, our national treasure. Love you, Vicki. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet to call me our national treasure. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Thank you so very much, beloved, for your support of this network, as well as your kind words, family. On the count of 3, for those of you that haven't, 1,500 plus of you in the chat live right now at flytobequeentv.com. Likely thousands of you later will watch us on this platform and several of our other platforms. Wherever you're watching us, on the count of 3, please like, share, subscribe, follow, and comment. Would you do that? 1, 2, 3. Thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. What did I say? Business is warfare. And I'm going to show you very briefly the pattern of opposition, the attacks that our sister Pinky Cole experienced is how white America does business. Did y'all hear what I said? I'm going to show you that the white backlash that she experienced, their attempts to shut her down, calling for her restaurant to be shut down, and putting all kinds of false negative reviews online. Why? Because they want to affect the Black war chest. I want to show you it's America's pattern. It's how she does business. What is Black Wall Street, family? What was the cause of Black Wall Street's destruction? I need somebody to talk black to me. Why was Rosewood, our beloved town in Florida? How many of you all know that I believe it was about approximately 12 years or so after slavery, that we owned millions and millions of acres of land shortly thereafter? That we had upwards of 60 towns, bustling Black towns. And that would make sense seeing that we built America. Watch this. What? That's right. Y'all are telling me. Somebody put Becky, somebody put jealousy and hatred. That's exactly right. Shout out to you, Taylor, for your gift. I support Black business. I support you, Vicki. Thank you so much for supporting this network, Fly Nubian Queen. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. When white folk sense Black advancement, what did I just say? Donald Trump is the president of the United States. One of the main reasons, it's not the only reasons, but it is the central reason why Donald Trump is the president of the United States, no matter how vile he is. They allowed the most vile and destructive criminal and sexual deviant to become president. Shout out to you, Larry, for your gift. Royal blessings to you, Queen. I bless your 1111 1,000-fold. Family, the fact that Barack Obama became president in the minds of white America, they felt that they suffered a loss. And they didn't just suffer a loss for 4 years. He won a second term. Mind you, Obama didn't do nothing for Black folk. But nevertheless, the symbolic election of Barack Obama, white folks suffered double loss in their minds. That was a double whammy. So who cares if Donald Trump hates Black people? Who cares if he called for the death of innocent Black men? Who cares if he and his dad discriminated against Black folks and had to pay millions of dollars back in a settlement for racism against Black folk? Who cares that he called other folks rapists and criminals? Who cares that he called Black nations S-hole countries? Who cares that he called Black folk sons of bees? Who cares that his first wife said that he raped her in a legal deposition under oath? Who cares that dozens of other women says that he either raped them or committed sexual assault? Who cares that he admitted on an audio video that he sexually assaults people? Who cares that he really doesn't own a lot of stuff, that he just enters into licenses agreement so that his name is plastered across buildings that he doesn't own? Who cares? They elected him because of white backlash. They felt that the election of Barack Obama was a double loss. They said, we didn't bring you guys to this country, even though he's not a foundational Black American. But he looks like he is. Somebody tell me that. Shout out to you, Melanated Melanie. You're truly a blessing. You are a wonderful, strong woman. Thank you for loving us. It's my privilege to love you. Thank you for loving me back. I bless your gift 1,000-fold, beloved. Listen. You got to understand the way you see the world is not the way your open enemy sees the world. You need to understand that so that you need to understand that so that you can strategize against it. Listen. Black advancement. So in day-to-day life, again, remember I told you we don't have a president of the United States, right? Donald Trump ain't no president. He ain't doing nothing. So since he's not the president of the United States, you need to use this as an opportunity to be president of your own life. What do you mean by that, Vicki? I need you to say, since you cannot rely on someone outside of yourself to give you guidance and to be the be all and the end all, you should take this as an opportunity to figure out just how powerful you are and what authority and what control you have over your life. May I tell you that business owners like Pinky Cole, when you operate and you can underwrite and you can fund someone's education and give them life insurance, when you can help pay someone else's bill, don't you know that you're the president of your own country? Don't you know that you can turn your home and your place of business into your own capital? How many times have I told you to turn your house into your headquarters? Seeing that we don't have a president, that vile beast in the White House, you all, when you see him coming on TV, when the news covers him, you don't want your children even listening to this nut. He's everything you teach them not to be. So take this as an opportunity to be the president of your own life. We're collectively our own presidents. America don't have no president right now. The White House is your black house. God, today. The White House is your black house. See it as that important. And seeing that some of you all had to work from home, seeing that some of you all perhaps were fired from your job or experiencing serious situations because of this COVID-19, and some of you had to start your own businesses or start a side hustle from home, why don't you just go ahead and begin to orient your space as worthy of business? Make it your mosque, make it your temple, make it your sanctuary. Make it your salon, ladies. Somebody talk black to me. Make it your school now. Make it your everything. Make it the place where you shape and you mold and you nurture and you grow warriors and business people. How many times have I told you there are different types of warriors? How many times have I told you there are different types of soldiers? Don't you know that this sister and those of her ilk, those like our dear sister here, pulling her picture back up. Don't you know that she's a soldier and a warrior, an economic soldier? Somebody talk black to me. They tried to shut down her business, calling for her business to be shut down, and flooding the internet with lies to make it look like she does bad business. Watch this. But this is exactly how America does business. By attacking us, by exploiting us, and by coming up on us. Somebody talk black to me. Kareem Branch, thank you for your $50 gift. She says, blessing you. Oh, thank you. But of course, you know, your gift blesses the network, and that those monies that you give on the super chat goes back into the network, and they turn right back around and reinvest it into black media. I want to bless your gift 1,000-fold. Thank you for your kind words, beloved. thumbs up, family. Keep liking and sharing. Again, if you're watching us elsewhere at a different time zone on a different platform where our show is aired or re-aired, please like, share, subscribe, and follow. By the way, don't forget you can follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. Follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. Business is warfare. But I began to think about something that our great elder among us now, Dr. Claude Anderson, said in his book, Powernomics. Don't you love how he calls it Powernomics? Merging the two words, power and economics. What does that title alone tell you? Powernomics. That you have power, what? In economics, right? Watch this. Yes, beloved. I don't usually give my Cash App information. It'll be my moderators will give you that information in the chat. I don't usually say that so much over the air. Thank you so much. Listen. Watch this. On page 31 of Dr. Claude Anderson, for those of you that don't know, Dr. Claude Anderson worked in the government. He understands the behind the scenes of how power works, not only politically, but also economically because of the positions he was appointed to. He also ran electoral campaigns on the federal level and on lower levels as well. This our beloved brother, who is a scholar and a teacher and so much more, understands how these things work. He has a body of work where he gives us solutions to Black economic problems. Watch what he says here in his book, Powernomics, on page 31. He discusses how in his first couple of chapters, he discusses how slavery generated racism, which created race-based monopolies and vast wealth for whites. What did he say? Slavery generated racism, which created race-based monopolies and vast wealth for whites. White wealth is no mystery. Black man and woman, you the mystery. These race-based monopolies made whites the proverbial 900-pound gorilla and rendered Black Americans null and void as a competitive and productive group in the marketplaces. This is a space for intelligent Black people. I'm about giving you solutions and facts. Your brains can handle this knowledge. Somebody talk Black to me. Thumbs up, keep liking and sharing. 1,600 plus of you in the chat. Welcome to the Vicki Show. I'm typically here weekdays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, and I'm so pleased that you've joined us today. Listen. He says, whites are the proverbial 900-pound gorilla, and that rendered Black Americans null and void as a competitive. Watch, they rendered us null and void as what? As a competitive. Somebody say compete is the root word for the word competitive. White folk don't want to compete. That's why they exploit and steal from you. How many of you all know that when someone cheats in a race, and if they get a head start of 50 yards, and they at the end of the race, they jumping up and down, talking about I won. Yeah, you won because you cheated. You cheated. I digress. Listen. He says they rendered Black Americans null and void as a competitive and productive group in the marketplace. However, like any monopoly, white racial monopolies are not perfect. Let me hit the gavel on that. I'm going to say it again. Dr. Claude says white racial monopolies are not perfect. Why am I emphasizing that? Because as I've said before, some of you believe the white man is God. That's the reason why I knocked down your altars of your white Jesus. While we're in the process of ripping up these other white monuments of traitors, pedophiles, race soldiers against Black folks, while we're in the process of ripping them, burning those up and throwing them into the sea, throwing them into lakes. Why don't you go ahead and burn down that picture you got in your church and in your house of your white Jesus? That's a far more detrimental monument. Because subconsciously you're programmed to believe that the white man is God, that they are deified in your mind. And you don't even understand why you have the deference and the reverence and the respect for them that you do. You don't even understand why you say, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you, when you don't even forgive your own black brother and sister for stomping on your toe. You don't understand why you get giddy in their presence. Some of you don't even understand that. It's because you got some altars erected. God, today, some of you all have altars. You sitting here worrying about some witch or some coven that you done made in your mind. You don't even understand that spirituality. No, the satanic work that you need to be concerned about is that white Jesus that you got erected in your house. That one that's still in your Sunday school books and stuff. The one that you blow off and say, well, I don't even pay that no mind. While you're being programmed. Watch this. What did he say? White racial monopolies are not perfect. They can be beaten. God, today, did you hear what Dr. Claude said? I'm going to read that part again. White racial monopolies are not perfect. They can be beaten. I know, because white supremacy is a global religion and government. It seems that they are insurmountable because they have been committing theft and fraud and lies and exploitation for so long. Black family, let me tell you something. While they may appear, Goliath, to be a giant, while they may appear to be a giant, while they may appear to be insurmountable, never forget, first and foremost, this is our planet, and we are now sitting back on our thrones, ruling and bringing order to this planet by establishing justice. Some of you say these are giants, but I am reminded of a song that while they may in your mind be giants, don't you ever forget that giants fall. Did you hear what I said? In your minds, you may think that they are insurmountable, that they cannot be scaled. Understand, they may be a giant in your mind, but giants fall. Dr. Claude says, I could sing this. God, today. I need somebody to give me some instruments just so I can make a song out of these two. I'm going to need somebody to make a song out of this. White racial monopolies are not perfect. They can be beaten. Make that a song. They can be beaten. Sing it for 30 days and see what happens in your mind, in your family, and in your business, and in the way you see the world and the way you move. They can be beaten. Think on that. Get Dr. Claude's books, his amazing work. This is Powernomics. I'm sure our moderators will have the link in the chat in a little bit where you can get some of his works. I want to connect a quick dot for you real quick. Can you give me a few more minutes? Thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Keep liking and sharing. Watch this. What did I just say? I said the fact, of course, we're starting out talking about our dear sister, Pinky Cole, and how these white supremacists are big mad because she's helping Black people financially. Watch this. White folks got a hell of a nerve to tell you don't ask the government for nothing. And so when you act like you're your own government, when you underwrite your own people, when you send them to school without a government loan, when you get them life insurance and not have to blink an eye, when you buy them a car and not get a loan, when you serve and act as your own government, they are tripping. What did Dr. Claude say? Competitive. He talks about that's the reason why it's called a race, because we are in a what? A race. And the team we're on, the team that's getting ready to take over and win, because baby, we ain't taking sides. We ain't taking Republican or Democrat. We taking over. Because the whole planet is ours. We getting ready to win, baby. And some of y'all saying, well, how are we going to win when we dying like this? Let me tell you something. I told you the pain is what? Labor pains. They sense your rise. It's written that the devil knows that his time is short. That's why he's acting a fool on our planet. But we getting ready to cast him out. Somebody talk black to me. Thank you. She put the link for Dr. Claude's information in there. What is that? Powernomics.com. Thank you so much, beloved. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Somebody said, bring it, Vicki, like no one else can. Thank you for those beautiful compliments. So many. I bless your gifts and your words 1,000-fold. Listen. What did I say a few minutes ago about Black Wall Street in Oklahoma, right? Where we established bustling, prosperous towns. I mentioned Rosewood, but I told you we had at least 60 towns that we established where we had banks and movie theaters, stores, shoe stores, and too many other type of businesses and other types of factories and so forth. And of course we did, because we built the country. So once they cast us out, we put our little dollars together, our little cents together, managed to get a little piece of land. What did Black folks do? We do what we always do. We create. God, today we bring things into existence. It was our own land, away from this white supremacist. Not us asking to pee in their toilets and call that success. Not saying let my babies be taught by my open enemy and call that success. Not drinking out of the same water fountains and God knows where your mouth being anyway and calling that success. Not sleeping in the same hotel with you. God knows where your body's been. If you took a shower, do you smell like outside? What I look like being around you anyway? But calling that success. Black folks was building their own stuff. And when they were minding their own business, watch this, thriving, white folks snooping. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad years and years ago called them the global snooper. Snooping. White folks begin to instigate. White folks begin to make mischief. Somebody say MYOWB. Hashtag MYOWB. Mind your own white business. You got too many of your own pedophiles, terrorists, sexual deviants, thieves, your Donald Trumps of the world. You got too much going on in your community to be worried about what's going on with Black people. Can I tell you a metaphysical secret? Can I tell you one of the spiritual reasons why white folks also want to keep a handle and keep control of Black folk? Y'all ain't ready for this. Some of the wise, it may not be the trailer park variety white supremacists, but some of the wise, you know how when you read about Herod knew to call on the wise men to know and understand the interpretation of a prophecy of a deliverer that was supposed to be coming, right? And the wise men knew exactly the location. They found him. And so Herod told them to come back to me. Make sure you come and give me intel. Let me know where he is so I can come worship him. Watch this. We know he was lying. He wanted to know where he was so he could kill him because he was being competitive. Watch this. Sometimes Those that are wise like Herod, that understand the secrets, spiritual secrets, that have insight into the plan of God for the nations. Y'all ain't ready for this. Those that are the wise amongst that group, some of them know that it's inevitable that we're going to rule. Some of them know things about you, Black family, that you don't know about yourself. Some of the mischief making that they're making by making sure, and even though we say this all the time, don't we? White folks, y'all don't like us. You always oppress us. You're trying to kill us. So leave us alone. Leave us to ourselves. One of the reasons why some of them, especially the wise, some of the reason why they keep making mischief, because they know that their time is short. They know that the world will once again be ours. Sometimes they're doing certain things like that to pull you into their madness so that they can take you down with them. Y'all play too much. I read you over and over again the scripture in the book of Revelation where it tells us what? Come out from among them, my people. Why? So that you don't partake of their plagues. Sometimes the reason why white folks introduce you to these strange behaviors, the reason why they intentionally urge you to do the things that make you act other than yourself, that puts you out of your mind, that makes you act as a savage. They make evil fair seeming. That's what the Quran says. They make evil fair seeming. The reason they pull you into that is so that they can take you down with them. They introduce you to madness. Because some of them are in the know. They know that we're going to rule no matter what. And so to taint things, Mickey says, thank you, sister, break it all down. So to taint things, they get you involved in stuff. And they make evil fair seeming. They get you to do behaviors that are foreign to our people. Things that we don't consider to be normal behaviors and engagement. Somebody talk Black to me. Now they're doing what? You're finding that some folks are now saying, lusting after 11-year-old children. We're talking about grown-ups. Now they're trying to normalize what? 30, 40, 50-year-olds, quote unquote, in love with a child. Michael Jackson rebuffed David Geffen trying to come onto him. So David Geffen was so mad, according to what's written in the book. David Geffen was so angry with Michael Jackson, credibly alleged, I'm going to say that, was credibly alleged that Michael Jackson rebuffed him because he didn't return his sexual advancement. He did everything he could to destroy Michael's career, label Michael as some kind of a pedophile, helped to destroy his career. And there is some evidence, shout out to Dr. Wesley Muhammad, that put a whole piece together on that, where it is believed that David Geffen may have actually had something to do with the murder of Michael Jackson. Again, I'm saying it is believed that. I'm putting that disclaimer there. It's believed based on information and belief. When you don't approve certain types of behaviors, y'all better talk Black to me. And I don't care if it's something sexual. I don't care if it's you being a Black police officer and you get on you start to work for a particular law enforcement agency, and then you turn around and start oppressing your own people. Somebody talk Black to me. Or you get a little job on one of these white networks and you start calling your own people bots, calling them out their name. Do you understand? Sometimes the wise among that group, sometimes the reason why they keep connection to us is because they know that their day is doomed. And their day is doomed because they refuse to submit. That's what's so funny about it. The reason why they're doomed is because they refuse to submit. They double down on their rebellion. Can't even go in a Trader Joe's and put a mask on. A rule that white folk made. I saw another Karen at a store. She started throwing out, when they asked her to put on the mask, she started literally throwing out all the groceries out of her grocery cart on the ground. Shout out to you, Erica. I would love for you and Dr. Anderson, and Minister Farrakhan, and Queen of Ford to do a live. They are wonderful legends, aren't they? Thank you, beloved, for your gift. Shout out to you, Herbert, for your gift. I can't wait. Rise up, son of my people. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. That's right, beloved. Listen, thumbs up, thumbs up. Keep liking and sharing, family. On the count of 3, for those of you that haven't, please hit the thumbs up button. And if you're watching us on another one of our platforms in another time zone and on another day, make sure that you like, share, and follow. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button, family, because I'm not the only queen on flynubianqueentv.com. So when you hit the subscribe button, make sure you also hit receive all notifications. That way you'll be notified, hopefully, when they send out notifications, when the other queens go live from time to time, and you can become familiar with their platforms, their shows, their content as well. Listen. So I just told you, we had all kinds of black towns, right? Millions of acres of land. Much of it was destroyed by white folk. Our labor was exploited by white folk. Sharecropping, family, was another form of slavery. Sharecropping, for those of you that may not know, I'm giving it to you in simple terms, in layman's terms. Sharecropping after slavery, since it was quote unquote technically on paper legally illegal for slavery, because when they sent us off, most of us didn't have any land, right? No resources, no home or anything, right? Shout out to you, Polly. I love you, Vicki. You're a true gift. I love you back. Listen. So they made agreements with black folks saying, okay, work my land, keep farming my land. And at the end of the season, at the end of the year, whatever the particular time frame was, I'll give you X amount of profit, money, from you working the land. They exploited them by having high either leasing amounts. They lied, they stole from them, and they almost never ever gave what they were due to our people for working the land. They played them the whole year long and didn't pay us what we were due after we worked their land through sharecropping. Convict leasing is exactly what the name entails. They leased us after making laws. See, America creates crimes. Y'all don't hear me today. America, when she puts new books when she puts new laws on the books, she's creating crimes for you to break so that she can find a sneaky way to entrap you and drive you back onto the plantation. Shout out to you, Damien. Preach, beautiful queen. You are royalty to us. You know them kids. Oh, thank you. You all are so sweet. J-Rock, thank you for your gift. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. That's right. Oprah and Gail was on David Geffen's yacht. Google my name, Vicki Dillard and Oprah and Gail. You'll see that'll come up. I did a whole show on it. I mean, that breakdown was the breakdown. I think I did that one last year. And my receipts was just off the chain. Shout out to you, Vershaw Spencer. I quoted a lot of the work that our brother, Dr. Wesley, did on that as well. So that was so powerful. So make sure you check that out. Listen. What was I saying? Black family. All of these different black towns. Oh, convict leasing. So convict leasing, America creates crimes, right? So America creates crimes. So after slavery, what did they do? They made it illegal for loitering. What was loitering? If you didn't have a job, because they just quote unquote freed you, and they made agreements amongst other white folks, making sure so-and-so didn't hire you, make sure so-and-so didn't give you any work and didn't pay you. They intentionally did that to entrap you so that they could find a reason to lock you up. And so while you were a prisoner, while you were in jail, the prisons made agreements with landowners for your labor. And you worked their land. It's still in effect today. I know. Because my labor was used in a federal prison in Texas for the U.S. military on a base. Somebody talk black to me. That's how I learned how to drive a John Deere. And involuntarily, I said involuntarily, in the Texas heat and humidity, full time, became a master landscaper. Glad I done forgot about half of that stuff. Somebody talk black to me. They made agreements with the prison. They had a contract with the prison. In fact, the prison I was at is situated on a military base. And so they leased out X number of us prisoners to work, because you all know that military, when you go to dealing with the military compounds and so forth, it's like a whole town and city. It's movie theaters, grocery stores, all of that. So literally, majority of that land we worked as maids and also landscapers. And I was made to be a landscaper. Y'all play too much. And so we call Oklahoma. Thumbs up, family. Keep liking and sharing. Watch this. Watch this. So we made, I'm almost done. I know y'all like, yeah, right. But I'm for real, I am. So we made, I want my moderator, let me know when 10 minutes is up. Don't go nowhere. Thumbs up, keep liking and sharing. Watch this. When you think about lynchings, when you study lynchings, these public spectacles that I've done numerous shows on, these festivals of violence, there was a community event where clergymen, politicians, judges, children, infants attended. Do you all know one of the main reasons why lynchings occurred? Somebody talk black to me. Oh, I'm doing my best to connect the dots, baby. Oh, we're going to show you how America does business. When America gets mad, is when you start doing business for yourself. When you're not leaning and relying on them, when they can't exploit you, when they can't benefit from you, and when they see you doing well. What was one of the main reasons they often lynched Black folk? Who was one of the main victims of white lynchings? Do you know? Do you know? I know I'm talking to intelligent Black people. I want to read you a quote from the LA Times. Geneva Bone. Excellent, Vicki. Thank you, beloved. Watch this. Watch this. Somebody said white women, that too. You see, white women were involved in every element of that, even as it relates to, Rosewood, as it relates to also Black Wall Street destruction and too many others today. It's absolutely white women, but it's also connected to, I want to give you an answer, but I'm going to read you the article. Do y'all see this scary looking God today? This thing here, who needs a mask? It should have been a COVID-19 mandate in the early 20th century during the Rosewood massacre. Because this is the thing that initially lied and said a Black man, you probably ain't gonna be able to see it too good because it's distorted, but it's as good as it gets. This is the thing that said that a Black man assaulted her. Now, some admitted that she admitted later that she was never really sexually assaulted, and certainly no Black man ever put hands on her funny looking self. But this thing here, this camper, this is the thing that helped to instigate the Rosewood massacre. Nonetheless, she served as cover for the large number of race soldiers and vigilantes that came out to destroy it because they were competitive against black folks. But listen, and they didn't want to see us do well, but that's not all. Watch this. In this piece, I'm reading again from the LA Times, an article that was written in 2018, very powerful. Listen, it's called How Lynchings Was Used by Whites to Destroy Competition from Black Business Owners. I wanted to find an article that would succinctly convey the point. So when I read through this one, this is where I'm going because it mentions one of my heroes, Ida B. Wells, in it. So I said, no, this is what I'm going to read to you today. This is where I'm going. What does the title of the article say from LA? I'm sorry, yeah, from LA Times. How lynching was used by whites to destroy competition from Black business owners. Watch what it says. I'm not going to read the first part because it ticked me off how it started. But it talks about the story of the murder of Elmore Bowling, a successful Black businessman, by his jealous white neighbor in Alabama in 1949 was just a glimpse into a pattern of racist violence that terrorized African Americans for generations. On a broader scale, during the Jim Crow era, white Americans destroyed prosperous Black businesses in many communities. When we talk about Rosewood, when we talk about Black Wall Street, don't ever forget they're symbolic of the numerous other towns, bustling towns, Black towns and businesses. Listen, it says numerous instances of that. One of the most notorious of such incidents took place in Memphis. Here, I'll give you another one, 1892. There, a store called People's Grocery, which was owned by a successful Black businessman, competed with a nearby white-owned shop. The People's Grocery owner and two of his Black employees were lynched by white marauders in a horrific assault that reverberated throughout the nation and wiped out the entrepreneurial spirit of many African Americans in Memphis and elsewhere. Black family, I'm just trying to connect the dots. My moderator has the link in the chat for your reference and for your reading. This piece from the LA Times. These links that we put in here proves that your sister is not lying. These links that I put in here is because it's my attempt to connect the dots for you and to show you what's hidden, what's behind this, and what's still happening today, and why it's still happening, and what you can do about it. It says that this lynching, this particular one, the People's Grocery owner and two of his Black employees were lynched by white marauders in a horrific assault that reverberated throughout the nation and wiped out the entrepreneurial spirit of many African Americans in Memphis and elsewhere. Black family, there is such science now that's called epigenetics. And epigenetics shows us how trauma is carried literally through the genes. It can be passed down through the DNA, but there's a way to rework that thing. And how many of you all know that the first way that you cast out a demon is through knowledge, it's through understanding. There are some things, what I'm trying to get you to understand when you can study this yourself, epigenetics, and I've studied this many, many, many years ago, and I need to refresh myself on it. But one of the things that you learn is that some things that you're experiencing now, some things that feel like they're being repeated, is because you're literally made up of that thing, some of the trauma and different things and past experiences. But there's a way, family, because we're the original man and woman. We're gods in the earth. We can recreate this thing, but that's through understanding. I'm mentioning that in the context of the fact that this piece made it very clear that sometimes the reason why there's not a motive, a stronger motive for Black entrepreneurship and Black business and ownership, I believe it has something to do with that. It's something that's happening on a metaphysical or a spiritual level. Are you hearing me? Somebody say business is warfare. Listen. This is the reason why I quoted this piece. Ida B. Wells not only documented, how many of y'all know I did a whole show on our sister? I often refer to her because Ida B. Wells was Black media during her day. And she was not just Black media at a quote unquote safe time, which there's never been a such thing for Black folk in America. But at the height of the lynchings, in particular in the 20th century, she was an investigatory journalist where she traveled to the places where Black men were being murdered, even when her contemporaries like W.E.B. Du Bois, before he came to the revelation of the importance of speaking on it, she was on it before he was, and other Black famous contemporaries. She was fearless. She went there and she investigated and she found out something. Listen, as you keep giving us the thumbs up, liking and sharing. Ida B. Wells not only documented the extent of lynching, but even more importantly, debunked the rape myth. This was the prevailing view at the turn of the 20th century, that lynching of Black men was somehow justified because they raped white women. Y'all saw that little piece of whatever I just showed you. Well, nobody studying that. First of all, don't you dare even act like that our men would be so violent. That was y'all doing all the raping. That's white folks projecting. Y'all was the ones sodomizing Black men and raping Black women. Using statistics. Who we talking about? Ida B. Wells. Remember, Ida B. Wells was actually a slave. Using statistics from white newspapers, Wells revealed that lynchings in the South had many causes, including the rising economic competition of African Americans with whites. Somebody say shout out for Black media. Somebody say shout out to Ida B. Wells. Maintaining white supremacy, not the rape of white women, was the overall motivating factor, Wells concluded. I believe Ida B. Wells. Did you all hear what our mother told us? Did you all hear what the queen of Black media during her day, what she told us based on facts? Using statistics from white newspapers, Wells revealed that lynchings in the South had many causes, including the rising economic competition of African Americans with whites. Maintaining white supremacy, not the rape of white women, was the overall motivating factor. I tell you today, the reason our sister Pinky Cole was attacked in her Black business along with others, the reason it irked them that she used her economic power to help Black people and to turn around before that and deny white police officers, and I'm sure other ones, Black ones too, whoever was on the police force, free meals. And instead say, let these essential workers, if you're a police officer who's an essential worker, you get to eat a free meal, but I'm not just finna do this for y'all like that. This is the reason why she was attacked and targeted. When you use your economics to help Black folk, and white folks feel like that they can no longer be exploitative, they can't exploit you. I'm not saying it as well as our mother said it. Wells concluded what? That maintaining white supremacy, see, your economics, Black businesses are a threat to white supremacy. White supremacy is maintained because of economics. And if you got a Black face looking person out here dogging out successful Black people, you better look at them strange. Maintaining white supremacy, not the rape of white women, was the overall motivating factor. And what was the previous part that I said? she revealed that the lynchings in the South had many causes, including the rising economic competition of African Americans. I'm here to spark that entrepreneurial spirit in you. I'm here to spark O-W-N, O-W-N, O-W-N. Do you know I'm trying to program you righteously when I start my show by telling you that there is a changing of the gods? I'm trying to program you when I tell you that this is our planet, because that in and of itself gives you a sense of ownership. Somebody talk black to me. And it's the reason why we tell you to go to flynubianbusiness.com here, so that you can learn how to build a black business, build a side hustle from black people that's actually business owners that instruct you in this black business school. Like Dr. Boyce's Black Business School, called theblackbusinessschool.com. We're giving you actionable knowledge here. Watch this. Black towns like Oklahoma was so prosperous. They dubbed it what? What was the other name? What was the other name for the prosperous towns in Oklahoma? What else do we call our prosperous town in Oklahoma? Of course, again, we had other towns and cities, many of them, but specifically the one in Oklahoma. Tell me, what did we call it again, class? That's right. We called it Black Wall Street. Why do we call it Black Wall Street, family? Because Wall Street was the economic hub, right? Wall Street is America's economic hub, right? Watch this. Wall Street represented the engine of America, the economic engine of America, right? So we called it Black Wall Street. Well, may I tell you, and I'm shutting it down now. Whether you're calling it Black Wall Street, Oklahoma, or whether you're referring to New York's Wall Street, it's got black blood and black labor on it. We wanted us to see ourselves as successful, so we called our thriving Oklahoma town Black Wall Street. But can I tell you something about Wall Street? God, today. Can I? My moderators, y'all ain't helped me. I told y'all to tell me in 10 minutes when 10 minutes was up. 10 minutes has been 10 minutes ago. 5 more minutes. Because Black family, I might skip my show tomorrow because I have to prepare for something that's happening later in the week. And I've got medical stuff going on and everything, family. So let me get this out. We're talking about Black Wall Street because we were comparing our thriving black town to Wall Street in New York, which is considered to be all of white America's economic capital. But Black family, while you were comparing your town and calling it Black Wall Street, as if your success was some little something over in the corner somewhere in the South, let's talk about Wall Street. Can I talk about Wall Street real quick? There are books about it, but it's easier for me so I can provide you with a quick link. I believe one of our moderators will put that in for you in just a second. But this was a piece that was written a few months ago, actually almost a year ago, not quite, by Zoe Thomas from BBC News. Zoe titles it. Do you see the title? Oh, y'all know I believe in connecting dots. Y'all know I believe in connecting the dots. The hidden links between slavery and Wall Street. Okay, can I just come on. So when we say cut the check, Joe Biden, when we say cut the check, Donald Trump, when we say cut the check, America, when we say reparations, baby, y'all can send them this link. So BBC discusses the hidden links between slavery and Wall Street. What is the hidden link? It's so much, but let me hurry up. It discusses it on a hot August day, August 25th. People were gathered around. No, on a hot August day, 25 people are gathered around a small commemorative sign in New York's financial district. Their tour guide explains that it was the site of one of the U.S.'s largest slave markets. What is it, family? So when we say cut the check, when you're talking about Jamie Dimon, when you're talking about Citibank, the Bank of New York, Mellon Bank, y'all put those names in there. Wells Fargo. What's some other ones? Deutsche Bank. That's a foreign one, but that one is guilty too. Shout out to you, Anne Marie, for your $50 gift. Thank you, Queen. All rich with facts and knowledge. Oh, it's my privilege. Thank you for supporting Black media. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. What did I say? In this financial district that they're in New York's financial district, the tour guide explains that this was the site of one of the U.S.'s largest what? Slave markets. Put their names in the chat. See, some of you all think so small of yourself. Vicki, you getting ahead of yourself. But some of you all that don't know my story, I didn't know a lot about no banking stuff like that. The most I was a supervisor dealing with tellers. I didn't do loans. I didn't do even new accounts for homes and mortgages. I didn't do none of that stuff. But before the Great Recession got started, your little sister, with no legal guidance or training and without the resources to do it at the time because I was losing everything, challenged some of these Wall Street gangsters. Not banksters, gangsters. I bear witness. I was in state court, federal court, and the lower courts in a number of ways, challenging ownership, challenging fraud, and I didn't even know all of what I was doing. I started just asking some important questions, and every time I asked another question, don't y'all, some of you all think you need to know everything. No, you don't. If you know the next question to ask, if you maintain a curious mind and you remain a lifelong student, God, today, I claim I know everything because I know the people that know what I don't know. I know where to get them. Y'all play too much. Thumbs up, Vicki. You don't get ahead of yourself. Go back to the article, Vicki. BBC piece that was just written, 2019. Just 2 streets away from the current site of the New York Stock Exchange. I'm going to say it again. Just 2 streets away from the current site of the New York Stock Exchange, men, women, and children were bought and what? Sold. Baby, we weren't just Black Wall Street. I submit to you. We are Wall Street. So when we say cut the check, we don't flinch. We don't bow down and we don't recognize giants. And in the event you want to call yourself a giant, what do we say? What did we say, family? Giants fall. God, today. Keep listening. Thumbs up, keep liking and sharing. Don't you trip when we tell you sign up for the Black Business School. Don't trip when we say go to flynubianbusiness.com. Shameless plugs. Listen. Quote, this is not Black history, says Damaris Obi, who leads the tour. This is not New York City or American history. This is world history. What did we say in the beginning of the show? We said, whose planet is this? This tour guide is a sister. And look who she's taking on the tour. Becky's and Karen's and Margaret's. Somebody talk black to me. Then I say they're different kind of soldiers. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Can y'all give me a few more minutes? Thank you. I love you, Doyle. My moderator said 5:15, sis. She let me know it's up. Thank you, Queen. Watch this. Real quick. Keep liking, sharing. Follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. Vicki X Dillard. Twitter Dillard Vicki. Twitter Dillard Vicki. Watch. What did she say? She said, this is not Black history. She said, this is not New York City history or even American history. She said, this is what? World history. Why? It is also economic history. Business is warfare, Black family. Listen. Stacy Toussaint, the boss of Inside Out Tours, which runs the NYC Slavery and Underground Railroad Tour, says people are often surprised by how important slavery was to New York City. They don't realize that enslaved people built the wall after which Wall Street is named. I'm going to need you all to take that in. I know I get excited about stuff because I want you to know how great you are. If it be said of me that Vicki just helped us to see our greatness, that Vicki inspired and sparked me to be empowered to go out and do something, that's my bliss. That's my purpose. That's my life. And it makes this illness make me feel limitless when I know that you can just take what I say from a laptop and a cell phone and rework the world. God, today, we rework the world. She said they don't realize that enslaved people built the wall after which Wall Street is named. By some estimates, New York received 40% of U.S. cotton revenue through money its financial firms, shipping businesses, and insurance companies earned. Who companies too? Insurance companies. Quickly, Vicki, because it's so much. Of course, you know, different ones they differ on the exact percentages and stuff, but we know we brought significant wealth to America and the world. Listen, people in non-slave areas, Britain and free U.S. states, routinely did business with slave owners and slave commerce. Vicki, calm down. What did I say? What did I say? People in non-slave areas, Britain and even the so-called free U.S. states, routinely did business with slave owners and slave commerce, says Gavin Wright, a professor of economic history, professor emeritus of economic history at Stanford University. But he says the uniqueness of slavery's economic contribution. Okay, I'm going to skip that part. Slavery thrived under colonial rule, because I want you to see this global part, because you know they differ on different things, but I want you to pay attention to this. Slavery thrived under colonial rule. British and Dutch settlers relied on enslaved people to help establish farms and build new towns and cities that would eventually become the United States of America. Do I need to say it again? Slavery thrived under colonial rule. British and Dutch settlers relied on enslaved people to help establish farms and build the new towns and cities that would eventually become the United States of America. Enslaved people were brought to work on the cotton, sugar, and tobacco plantations. The crops they grew were sent to Europe or to the northern colonies to be turned into finished products. Those finished goods were used to fund trips to Africa to obtain more slaves who were then trafficked back to America. I need somebody Black to say, cut the check. This triangular trading route was profitable for investors. To raise the money to start many future plantation owners, plantation owners turned to capital markets in London, selling debt that was used to purchase boats, goods, and eventually people. What did they purchase, family? Boats, goods, and people. Later in the 19th century, U.S. banks and southern states would sell securities that helped fund the expansion of slave-run plantations. I need somebody black to say cut. We're not just talking about quote unquote Black Wall Street. I submit to you that Wall Street is Black Wall Street. Get on, Vicki. You got two, three minutes. Listen. To balance the risk that came with forcibly bringing humans from Africa to America, insurance policies were purchased. I need somebody to put insurance policies in the comment section. If you're watching us on flynubianqueentv.com, put it there. If you're watching us on one of our other platforms, please put it in the comment section. While y'all are putting insurance companies in there, please thumbs up, please like and share. Would you do that for me, family? When we say it's our planet, when we say that there is no area that exists that has not been touched by white supremacy, and when I lay claim to any and everything that is success, that's a resource, that anything that's a treasure, we claim it as ours, every bit of it. The sky, the moon, the sun, Wall Street, houses, the Capitol, barrettes, gavels, computers, the internet. Keep reading, Vicki, so that people can go. Watch this. These policies protected against the risk of a boat sinking and the risks of losing individual slaves once they made it to America. God, today, a lot of my activism where I made the newspapers is because I was marching on Wells Fargo, because I was marching on Wall Street. When they were doing the Occupy Wall Street, in the incipiency of that, your sister was flown to Washington, D.C. to attend what they called America's Futures Conference, I believe it was called. And believe it or not, Van Jones was the headliner of that. God, today. And the reason they flew me there is because I showed up at a meeting in Colorado and I gave the Deputy Attorney General some work for screwing over the people and doing very little related to fraud that was happening with the loans and stuff. I didn't even know all the questions and all the things to ask, but I knew he was running game. So after I fronted him and made him look stupid in a packed out political meeting, that a family member of mine messaged me and said, you need to get down there because you're doing this stuff by yourself. And whatever it is you're doing with these people on Wall Street, girl, the people, it's somebody from the AG's office going to be there. You probably need to be there. Somebody talk black to me. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Keep liking and sharing. It's also the same organization that I went with to Chicago, where I sat in front of some of the state's attorneys general before they made that multi-billion-dollar agreement with Wall Street because of its fraud. That multi-billion-dollar agreement still paled in comparison to the theft and the crimes that they committed against Americans, specifically and disproportionately us. So for the new people, for all the newbies out there that want to know what Vicki, for you new people, the new people, that's just some stuff for you for later. Thumbs up, keep liking and sharing. Vicki, you got to be done in 3 minutes. Y'all got to tell me 3 minutes, for real, for real. Follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard and follow me at VickiDillard.tv, VickiDillard.tv. My website is MissVickiTV.com, MissVickiTV.com. Make sure that you go to FlyNubianBusiness.com, FlyNubianBusiness.com. The links are in the chat. Watch this. These policies protected against what? The risk of losing a boat, the risk of a boat sinking, rather, and the risk of losing individual slaves once they made it to America. Thank you, Brandon. Some of the largest insurance firms in the U.S., New York Life, AIG, and Aetna, sold policies that insured slave owners would be compensated if the slaves they owned were injured or killed. Now, when they tell us that that was a long time ago, I want to ask you, Why is it that some of you all know who New York Life and who AIG and Aetna are? Are some of these companies still in operation today? These insurance companies sold policies that ensured slave owners would be compensated. These devilish companies paid slave owners, y'all, if the slaves they owned were injured or killed. When you died, they got paid. Your labor already made them rich. Your labor made the world rich. But when you died, God today, they profited economically off of your death. They won when you were injured. So when we say cut, we ain't asking. By the mid-19th century, exports of raw cotton accounted for more than half of U.S. overseas shipments. What wasn't sold abroad, my moderator said, your 3 minutes is up. You ain't never lied, Queen. She sure was right. Thank you, Dual. Someone say shout out to the chief moderator. The money, watch this. What'd I say? What wasn't sold abroad was sent to mills in northern states, including Massachusetts and Rhode Island, to be turned into fabric. So none of y'all can get off on, well, we was a free state. Sit your funny looking self down. You all benefited. The money Southern plantation owners earned couldn't be kept under mattresses or behind loose floorboards. American banks, American banks accepted their deposits and counted enslaved people as assets when assessing a person's wealth. Business, Minister Farrakhan said, is what? Warfare. My 2 minutes is up. In recent years, U.S. banks have made public apologies for the role they played in slavery. How many of you all know an apology isn't the money, fool? So some of you church people that's cool with apologies and cool with white folks just making an appearance, some of you bones and biscuits, some of you bed wenches, and some of you sambos and coons, you okay with a little job for your individual self. You excited when you have nearness to whiteness. You excited when white folks acknowledge you. Not us. We say we want tangibles. Substance, property, money. 2005, JP Morgan Chase, currently the biggest bank in the U.S., admitted that 2 of its subsidiaries, Citizens Bank and Canal Bank in Louisiana, accepted enslaved people as collateral for loans. They admitted that part. And they don't think that they fit to pay reparations. If plantation owners defaulted on loan payment, the banks took ownership of these slaves. We were the collateral too. JP Morgan is not alone. The predecessors that made up Citibank, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo are among a list of well-known U.S. financial firms that benefited from the slave trade. Slavery was an overwhelmingly important factor of the American economy, explains Sven Beckert, Laird Bell Professor of American History at Harvard University. He points out that while cities like Boston never played a large role in the slave trade, they benefited from the connections to slave-driven economies. New England merchants made money selling timber and ice to the South and the Caribbean. In turn, Northern merchants bought raw cotton and sugar. New England's fabric mills played a key role in the U.S. Industrial Revolution, but their supply of cotton came from the slave-reliant South. Brands like Brooks Brothers, the oldest men's clothier in the U.S., hope I pronounced that right, turned Southern cotton into high-end fashion. Y'all don't make me go there right now. Domino's Sugar, once the largest sugar refiner in the U.S., processed slave-grown sugar cane. How many of y'all purchased Domino's Sugar? America's railroads also benefited from money earned through slave businesses. In the South, trains were built specifically to move agricultural goods farmed by enslaved people. And slaves were also used as labor to build the lines. Y'all ain't ready for this last part. I know I said I'm supposed to go, but I wanted to show you this one more part because some of you all may have known some of this stuff. But this is what I found interesting when I read this. Some scholars even argue the use of slavery shaped modern accounting. God, today, when I tell you, when we say we own everything, when we say everything we deserve, everything belongs to us, I mean everything. And when I told you from the beginning of my show, when I first started coming on Fly Doobie Queen TV, I told you all that I believed that everything that's wrong in the whole wide world, what did I say was connected to? The mistreatment of God's people. Did I not tell you that? Some scholars even argue the use of slavery shaped modern accounting. Historian Caitlin Rosenthal points to enslavers who depreciated or lowered the record value of slaves, the recorded values of slaves over time as a way to keep track of costs. Y'all play too much. Thumbs up, keep liking, sharing. Vicki, you got to go. Vicki has got to go. I guess I'm trying to make up because I may not do the show tomorrow. And for sure, I'm going to miss Friday. But y'all still support FlyDoobieQueenTV.com because of the other queens that's going to be on here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And if you missed some of my other shows, catch up all week long. You don't know what nugget you might get. Listen. In the century and a half since slavery was abolished in the U.S., laws that prevented former slaves and their descendants from full engagement in the U.S. economy have shaped the country. Following the country's civil wars, efforts to pay reparations to the newly freed slaves were squashed. President Andrew Johnson, who took over Abraham Lincoln's assassination, after Abraham Lincoln's assassination, did not want to alienate white Southerners during the period of Reconstruction. A series of laws that economically and politically disenfranchised former enslaved people led to many of today's inequalities, according to historians. Of course, we know that. I got to go. Black family, I just wanted to give you just some of those nuggets. The reason white folks got so rich is not because they were geniuses. The reason white folks got so rich is not because they were self-built, pulled themselves up by their own bootstraps. It's because they stole. You are the wealth. You're not just Black Wall Street. You're not just at Oklahoma town. I submit to you that the New York Stock Exchange, which represents the capital, the economic capital of America, and by extension, the world, is Black Wall Street. Wall Street is Black Wall Street. It's all ours. And I want to say shout out to our sister, Miss Pinky Cole, who's supporting Black folk. Don't be intimidated by racist, competitive white folk. I don't have a big, outrageous business like other people, but guess what? I have one. It's in its budding stage. It's a part of the work that I do here that I get to say, guess what? It's my own. And me refusing to just stop at being medically disabled and not being able to do this, that, and the third. I have the sense of ownership. Somebody talk black to me. A little bit at a time, one by one. A little house, little condo, whatever it is that you do, you just start small and understand that you have every right to own, and you should. It's about Black liberation. We were brought here to make America rich. We were brought here for profit for America. There was an economic reason we were brought here. Business is warfare. So why don't we make war? Why don't we do business? We will surely win. There are protective things that you can do. You can learn some of those things at the blackbusinessschool.com, flynubianbusiness.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. Every one of you that gave, thank you. Every one of you that didn't give, that just said talk black to me, that commented, that liked, shared, subscribed, thank you. This is the high honor that I get to come before my people, and it is a pleasure. It is my bliss. I thank you. Mwah. I love you. I can't wait to see you on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard, Twitter at Dillard Vicki, or VickiDillard.tv. But most important, make sure you subscribe to FlyNubianQueenTV.com. I came to you in peace. I leave you in peace. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. Ma'at hotep. Namaste. Free the land, beloved.